What is going on, everyone? Welcome to the John Squared Game Show, episode 39. My name's John Townsend. Joining me is John Rayfield. John, it's been a couple weeks, but we have been putting some other content out. If you guys haven't seen, somehow we've been putting up some new video series. One will be coming out tomorrow. So keep a lookout for that. But John, how has your week been, brother?
Not bad. Actually, stressful. A lot going on. There's new dogs happening, and
a lot of new dogs in your family.
Yeah. There's just babies everywhere, and you kind of when you're out of that game for a while, you forget what it's like, and it's so much work.
Yeah. Actually, my mother-in-law, their dogs, two of her dogs had puppies, and she's going on vacation in 2 weeks. And Lauren and I get to watch them while she's out for the week, and I fucking love these dogs, dude. They're so literally like you can hold them in the palm of your hand. Not for long, but I'm really excited. Peach hates them. Connor is terrified of them, so it's gonna make it even more fun to get to torture my dogs with puppies chasing them around the house.
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, that's been the most fun part about the puppies being at my mom's house is Cooper fucking hates them. He is not happy.
Yeah, it's sad because he's old, but then I'm thinking so is Connor, and but it was funny because Connor has had puppies, like he was the father, and even after they were born, he's like, nah, I don't want anything to do with y'all. Like
Deadbeat daddy.
Yeah, little sleazeball. John.
Yeah.
Before we get into the news that we've missed over the past few weeks, hit me with what you've been playing lately.
Actually, we just had this conversation recently that I have not been playing a lot of games. Mm-hmm. I have been sort of taking a break just because I've been so busy. I think I've played. What have we played? Fortnite, Tiny Tina's.
Yeah. Yep.
More of that, which has been very good.
Yeah.
Simpsons Hit and Run for our PS Tuesday series.
The video series. Yeah, so I'm in a similar boat. Like I still been trying here and there, but for some reason during the week, the last couple of weeks has been really hard. After I played the shit out of Horizon Forbidden West, I played the shit out of Elden Ring shortly after, and it just felt like after I was like I needed a breather. Life is Strange: True Colors was put on the Game Pass, and it was a game I had my eye on last year. I heard a lot of good things about it, so I've been trying that out. I completed the first 2 or 3 episodes. They're very similar to Telltale games, but I guess if I had to, the elevator pitch is a CW show simulator. It's like it has some of that like teenage drama, but dude, the first episode, because like as I'm going through the first episode at least, I'm thinking I just don't know if this is for me, but the way that it ends, I was like I have to see what happens next. So which has been really cool. The idea of the game is really cool. The main character, Alex, she has I think she's just called an empath. It's some kind of power where if somebody near you is experiencing like
you can feel
strong emotion, which is like a basic human thing that you should have, but hers is like so intense that it takes over her body and she just feels what the other person is like.
Okay.
Yeah. So for example, this is early on, so light spoilers if anyone fucking cares, but her brother is he's in a fight and he's getting his ass beat, and she's feeling the rage from the brother's attacker, and so she just her whole body fills with rage, and she just goes fucking nuts and then beats the shit out of the guy who's beating up her brother. So yeah, it's just different. Like you can walk around the town and you you hold whatever button to A, and you your power, like you use your power, and so you can feel, and in some ways it's almost like you're like reading the person's mind too, which is it's interesting. Like I won't spoil this because it's a little bit deeper in, but someone, like, you come across somebody and they say something in their head, and then they say something completely different to you, and you're like, well, fuck you then. But yeah, it's been pretty cool. I'd recommend it. It's very chill. I had
Yeah.
a glass of whiskey and was kind of just chilling playing that. It's not, there's no like intense gameplay or anything like that. So yeah, I'd recommend it. I'm gonna keep playing it just to see it through. But
Dude, I
yeah,
think that's I need a game like that though, like a relaxed, like if a game came out right now, that
yeah,
would be ideal.
yeah,
Because like I just need something mindless. Which Tiny Tina's has a story, but like for the most part, it's just running. Like it's Borderlands. It's running
yeah,
down.
yeah. Yeah, so other than that, obviously we've been playing some Fortnite. I still been playing Warzone a little bit with my brothers. We have some Warzone news to talk about a little bit later. Some very interesting news actually. But yeah, other than that, I haven't been playing too much. I said that at some point I was talking about the game Tunic. I think it was their last podcast.
Yeah.
I did give that a shot. Oh, it's
Was it good?
it's it's good.
I feel
It's
like there's a
just
but.
there is a but, and it's the combat in that game is, and it's not like the reason you play Zelda games you is not the combat. Combat is good in Zelda, like it's not irritating, and I think the combat in Tunic is a little irritating. But the exploration's been really great. I played a pretty decent amount of that when it came out, but I haven't felt the itch to go back to it at all. So I kind of just have that in the back burner. Ultimately, was kind of let down by it.
I had the itch to play Sifu this morning, and then snapped myself right out of that because I was like, I don't need that.
It's just gonna ruin my day.
It's gonna ruin my week.
Yeah. All right, John. Well, we got some gaming news to get into. So first, we'll talk about the Halo Season 2 roadmap. So they announced this earlier this week and then gave up a roadmap update. So first, what we'll do is talk about some of the game modes that they said that they previewed. The video was really hype. I'm not gonna lie; like it was really cool to see. So just to
That's
cut that, go ahead.
the video is the only part of this announcement that I enjoyed. Everything else upset me.
All right, we'll talk. We'll
Yeah,
read
I'll get
what
into
we
it.
had. Yeah. So we had King of the Hill, and all of these have like slight little twists on it. So the description for King of the Hill is, yeah, you know how the game is played, but there's a little bit of twist to this one. A neutral hill spawns on the map, and two teams battle it out to control the hill and earn points. When a player enters the hill uncontested, it is captured and begins earning 1 point per second into the capture bar. When a team's capture bar is full, they score 1 point, and a new hill spawns somewhere else. So it's similar, but just there's a little twist to it, and it seems interesting. Like I'm excited to give it a shot. There's one called Land Grab, which is like kind of a similar thing to Strongholds, where you're. So the description for this I'll just read is that at the start of the match there are three neutral zones around the map. When a player captures a zone, it is locked and gives their team 1 point. When all zones are captured, there's an intermission before three new neutral zones spawn. The first team to score 11 points wins.
That one sounds more interesting to me.
Yeah, it sounds cool. And then the last one is kind of just a mini battle royale. It's called Last Spartan Standing. It's a free for all experience. 12 players spawn on a big team battle map, and confined loadout and 5 respawns. Once your respawns run out, you're done. And there's a zone that closes in on the big team battle maps. So those are some of the new game modes that we have. They kind of previewed the two new maps that are coming. But then later in the week, they showed us a roadmap, like an official roadmap, and I'm going to show that for video listeners. But so basically, what we have here is new maps coming at the start at May 3rd. Then we have new game modes coming also May 3rd. And then there May 3rd to May 16th, there's Interference Alpha Pack where narrative events. Then are obviously new 100 tier to go through. And then new Fractured events. But then what we have on the like kind of middle right is the campaign mission replay, which is looks like their target is late August. Forge open beta for September.
Yeah.
Quality of life improvements. The thing that I took away from this is that when you look all the way over to the right, you see the season 3, which starts in November. So another what 5 months? Battle pass.
Roughly.
Yeah. So another battle pass, 100 tiers, new maps. That's the only other mention of new maps, new modes. So that's going to be the next update.
Dude, that's too long.
That is very long to wait. So in the entire first year for this game, we're getting 2 new maps. One if you only play arena, and only one if you play big team battle. That's bad.
Nothing.
That's bad.
It's one full year.
Yeah.
That
right.
is wild.
I can't believe the Forge beta is just targeted for September, so it's not even like confirmed.
No, it's probably. I wouldn't be surprised if it got pushed until like November or December into season 3.
Yeah. It's really not a good look. This obviously they had to announce something. They had to
Yeah.
but what we ended up getting and what we are getting over the next 5 months. Like I've been really hoping to get back into Halo cuz our group is like our Friday night group is basically done with it. Like we opened it for a second, didn't even play a game, and we're already out. It sucks, man, because we say this all the time, and I don't mean to beat a dead horse. That phrase is really, I don't know that.
Right, it's rough. It's
Yeah,
rough
where
when you think about it.
yeah. I don't
No,
even know where
it probably came from like the 1800s when they,
uh,
would probably
beat
beat dead horses for
beat.
fun.
But yeah, the gameplay and the gunplay is so fun in this game, in Halo, but there's no content at all, and then you have Warzone is seemingly the opposite, where some of the gunplay and the gameplay is not fun. But they at least are giving content. They're at least doing crazy things like the thing we're going to talk about next. Is Snoop Dogg being put into the game and actually having voice. He actually did voice work for his character, which is really cool. But
The only argument I can make for like Halo in that instance is like those battle royales stick to one map for like a year at a time, roughly.
sure,
Whereas
but
they have to add, but at the same time, in 1 year, they've added so much other content, like so many
yeah,
other game modes and like limited time game modes. They have zombies that they're still updating. They have both Cold War and what is the new one?
Vanguard.
Vanguard,
So
both getting updates constantly.
Vanguard is the
Halo's getting
true
nothing.
competition, right? That is still getting new maps. That is still getting new operators, and that is still like Snoop Dogg's in Vanguard's. The
Sure.
the Attack on Titan crossover is in Vanguard. It's all this stuff is like kind of crossed over, but there's new content coming in Vanguard still very regularly.
that throws me for because like I can understand Attack on Titan since the show comes like it's sort of based off of like World War II. I can't understand Snoop Dogg being in World War II. Like I can't even like trying to picture that in any sense. Just it doesn't click in my brain.
It's really funny though. It like hearing him like give call outs and stuff like that, where he's like I don't know. I can't think of, but it's
I
really
thought you were
funny.
gonna try to do
Yeah,
a voice. I
I
apologize.
I I was going to, and I thought better of it. But anyways, yeah, just super disappointing. And I know this was like the roadmap that they gave, so I guess we shouldn't expect anything. But I really hope that they do pull through with some other map or some other something. Like even if you are remastering old maps, that's what I keep
Dude,
saying. If they would remaster fan favorite maps and put that into this game, like that would do a lot for it as well. Just anything other than what we've been playing for the last
bring
5 months.
back Griff Ball.
Yeah,
I mean,
there's
it's so easy. Bring back Griff Ball. You can put it on new maps. Bring back one old map with that. Bring back one old map for just arena play. It's not hard. Like you have one full year to do anything.
yeah, and I don't know. It's kind of crazy when you think about how high we were on this game. We gave this our 2021 game of the year. We were
Yep.
so everyone was so high on this game when it came out, just to be where we are now, where it's just at least on PC, it's completely dead. Like,
I could not give a single shit about it. I've thought about taking it off my Xbox more than once, just
wow,
to free up space.
yeah, like the concurrent player count on Steam for Master Chief Collection is frequently higher than Halo Infinite, which is just sad. Like,
And
that's a
this is
really
supposed to be the
sad.
game for the next 10 years.
Yeah, they just got to get their shit together. I understand that the like COVID threw a wrench in their plans, but it's
I'm not taking that excuse anymore. It threw a wrench in everybody's plans.
yeah.
And yet other studios like Activision Blizzard, who are currently in 18 different fucking lawsuits, have managed to still put out
Yeah,
more
you're,
content.
yeah,
Like it's not an excuse anymore.
yeah. Okay, next up, we'll talk about Warzone. There's a new trailer that came out for season 3. Starting May 11th, they are having a King Kong versus Godzilla crossover event. Did you see this?
Yeah. I saw the character skins and everything, and you know how people use the phrase "jumping the shark" like you've gone too far. That when as soon as I saw Godzilla with an M16, I said, "This is too much."
Yeah, dude. I mean, obviously, it's just like in a suit or whatever, but
But like, so like something like Fortnite, it's already cartoony. Like the gameplay and everything is cartoony, so it
yeah,
fits if you add in weird shit.
yeah.
In
I
Call of
do.
Duty, it's so based in realism that bringing in King Kong and Godzilla is just like, what is happening?
So the event has it's called Operation Monarch. It's a new game mode for quad based. I just don't know what it's gonna like. Are they're actually going to be like big ass? Like, are you gonna be running and then you see like a shadow, like of a footprint come over you, and then your game's over? Like, I don't know what it's going to look like.
I think you remember that zombies map where you're in the trenches and there's a giant robot, and it's like if it's something like that, that's that's interesting at least.
Yeah,
But it's also like, what the fuck? Where did this idea come from? The movie came out like a year and a half ago. Why is it coming out now?
yeah. I don't know. I will play it and I will let you guys know my thoughts on it when it does come out May 11th. But yeah, just super interesting, and we'll see what it looks like more when it comes out. Something else we'll see what it looks like when it comes out is new Tales from the Borderlands series was announced earlier in the week. or late last week. Sorry. And this one is being developed by Gearbox. Since Telltale obviously is not a studio anymore. The only details we have is that it will be a new adventure with new characters and new tales. It was very brief. Also, that it is coming this year, which is kind of surprising. Are you excited for this?
I want to be. I think the story of Borderlands 3 was divisive.
Sure. Yeah,
I don't
that's a
think it
good
was,
word.
but with Telltale not being a thing anymore, I would like for some of those writers to maybe be signed on to write for this behind the scenes. I think that would be nice. Uh, I played Tales from the first Tales from the Borderlands. I streamed it on Twitch,
Yeah.
and one of the first things that kind of upset me afterwards was like, well, hang on, all these stories are open ended. Only one of those characters made it into Borderlands 3. So it's like all the other character stories are wide open. And this one's saying they're introducing new characters. It's kind of like, well, wait a minute. You
You got to
had the thing
finish
laid
those
out.
other characters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean
Yeah.
other than that, I'm gonna play it for sure.
Yeah, and so like I watched your streams for Tales of the Borderlands, but I kind of wanted to give them my own, like, because obviously everything's choice based, and
Yeah.
things, aspects of the story will change and stuff. So I did want to plan on doing that and playing those games for myself. But yeah, I agree. I agree that they need some different writers. They can't just rely on the ones that they have, because the Borderlands writing is funny, but these games can't just be like immature humor. Immature. It
Yeah.
sounds like I'm shit talking it, but I don't.
It
It
can't
needs to
just be
be.
like meme lord humor. It has to like
Yeah.
there has to be some substance to it.
Yeah, right. These type of games where your choices matter, and you have to have some kind of emotional connection to some of the characters, which, like, everyone in Borderlands 3 could get fucked, and I don't care.
I mean they straight up, I mean I guess spoiler if you haven't watched it or played it. They killed Lilith and it was like who fucking cares? Like there was no weight to it.
Yeah, it was really just like a wow, dang.
Yeah. Dang that sucks. And then you just move on. It's like
Yeah,
that's it.
right. Yeah, it's kind of nuts to see it coming this year. That's a lot of Borderlands content. I know Tiny Tina's is technically its own thing, but yeah, and then we have the movie coming. I don't think this year, but soon, within the next
Kind of
2 years.
my my thought is there's a lot of Borderlands content coming this year because the movie's coming early next year, and then after that is Borderlands 4, middle to end of next year. That is what my head is telling me.
I don't know, man. That'd be kind of nuts. To
I
have Tiny Tina's. I don't know what
Tiny
development
Tina's has
team.
been very, very successful. And I
Well,
think instead of
yeah.
waiting another 10 years to do another game, they're going to try to get one out sooner rather than later.
Well, all Borderlands games have been really successful. I just think, when
True.
did Borderlands 3 come out in
It was
2018 or
like
19?
I think it was I think it was 18. I got hiccups now.
Maybe. Oh no, it was 19. It was 19.
It was?
Yeah. And the thing is, I don't know what team worked on,
Yeah.
like, if they had different teams working on Tiny Tina's, because if they were the same team, then there's no chance. But yeah, it'd be cool to see another Borderlands game come out in the next, like, 2 or 3 years for sure.
A Borderlands game with Jack Black voicing Claptrap would be.
And Andy
No,
Samberg
he's.
returning.
There's a Kevin Hart playing. I don't know. Kevin Hart's playing Roland.
Yeah,
Jack Black playing.
that's
Uh,
interesting.
Andy Samberg needs to come back and be a playable character.
Yeah,
That's not. He can't be just a one-off.
I agree. Um, all of the voice acting in Tiny Tina's has been really good. I really enjoy it.
Yeah.
All right, next up, we have Naughty Dog. They seem to be hiring for new Uncharted projects, according to an in-house recruiter. As spotted by VGC, Christina Marie Drake
How many names do you need?
that's a lot of names for one woman. But uh, she recently posted on her LinkedIn confirming her new job at the studio. McBrearty said that she'll be, quote, helping to staff a variety of roles, end quote, with a focus on creative jobs. She confirmed that she'll be, quote, be building future teams for not only new titles, but for the legacy of Uncharted. And she says, never say never about Uncharted 5. So that's a weird, the way she phrased that was really weird. So building
Yeah.
building future teams for not only new titles but for the legacy of Uncharted. Does that does it guarantee that they're working on new Uncharted, or is it like the legacy of Uncharted?
I it sounds to me like maybe a spin-off within the same world. I
Sure,
think the way
yeah.
that Uncharted 4 ended, you could have a spin-off of what is his brother's name?
Sam,
Sam and Sully. And
possibly.
Uncharted 5 could be old Nathan Drake teaching his daughter.
Yeah, that a spoiler. A spoiler warning. I mean, the game's 6 years old now.
And the Legacy or whatever edition just came out like 2 months ago. At this point, I don't care.
Yeah, so I the legacy of Uncharted is so weird. The way she said that is phrases that is very strange. But yeah, I definitely think that some kind of spinoff is coming. I didn't expect Naughty Dog to keep working on it. I definitely thought. I mean, obviously, Naughty Dog has been expanding a lot since The Last of Us Part Two came out.
Yeah.
It seems. I mean, they're doing multiplayer projects. They're working on. So their team or their studio is vastly growing. I mean, PlayStation is basically just get whatever the fuck you want to do it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I definitely think that an Uncharted 5 would be Nate and Elena's daughter, which would be really cool. But in my opinion, they have to do something fresh. They have to do something new with that franchise because just another Uncharted game, I don't know how much it does for me.
What would you want to see?
I'm not sure. I really don't know.
See, that's what I was thinking too. Is like I would like a fresh take on it, but I don't know what the fresh take would look like.
Right. That's not my job.
True.
But yeah, I think just having another Uncharted game, maybe it's just because I played these games somewhat recently within the last 2 years. I don't know. Maybe in a couple years I'll have the itch to play it, and that's not to say like if this game gets announced, if Uncharted 5 got announced tomorrow, I'd probably freak out and I
Oh yeah.
be excited and pre-order it. But I just thought Naughty Dog would be working on something new, and maybe they still are, but
I think they are, aren't they? Aren't they working on a new IP?
I think so. I they've been doing like Neil Druckmann does a lot of like teasing and stuff like that, but they
Well,
haven't like
I thought we talked about it here at some point in the last couple episodes where they have a new IP that they've been working on behind the scenes. They're not putting out any details until next year.
hmm.
And on top of that, they're working on um, Last of Us factions and other stuff.
Yeah, the only one that I think is like 100% confirmed is the Last of Us multiplayer game. Um, but yeah, it'll be really interesting to see what they end up doing with Uncharted, if they even do anything with Uncharted, because the way that she phrased that technically isn't really confirming anything. It's just, I
They
don't know.
they could or couldn't, and she can't get yelled at either way.
Yeah. On the other hand, someone that probably is getting yelled at, sticking with PlayStation, animation director Bruno Velasquez at Santa Monica Studio replied to a tweet on 420, which was the 4-year anniversary of God of War 2018. So the tweet says, so first of all, Naughty Dog, or oh my god, bro, Santa Monica.
Uh-oh.
Santa Monica put out a video. Corey Barlog, who directed God of War 2018, gave a quick update, which wasn't really an update. Basically said the game isn't ready to be shown yet, but the team is working really hard. Blah blah blah, whatever. Then someone tweeted at one of the game directors, Bruno Velasquez. It says, Bruno, reassure us that it will come out this year 100% and don't show me anything at this point. Bruno Velasquez then tweeted, Ragnarok is coming this year. So yeah, I
Ooh,
don't know if that was approved, but I mean, he's an animation director. That's like
pretty high up.
high up, yeah.
But also, didn't Corey Barlog didn't have his hands anywhere near this one. He didn't touch it.
I don't know if that's he's not the director.
Oh,
I'd be
the way I interpreted that is that he was like he has no part in this. He's letting other people take over because he needed a break.
I don't know what his role is. I would assume that he has some kind of say or some role in the game, even if it's a minor one where it's just like hey, yo, Corey, what do you think about this? Like, I don't know, something like that.
Yeah.
I think for one, it was Corey's game. That was the anniversary that they were celebrating. That's why he did the video. And then another thing was, it wasn't good news. It wasn't like bad news. It wasn't delayed, but everybody loves Corey Barlog. The Sony fanboys they are in love with him. So they're like, okay, if we have Corey come out and say nothing, essentially, the streets are gonna love it still. And then Bruno took it upon himself to deliver the good news, because the way Corey was talking, kind of seemed like it was this game's gonna be delayed, and
This game's not ready to be shown and probably won't by the rumored June date.
yeah, June's out of the question. Absolutely,
Yeah.
like I'd bet all my money that it's not coming out in June. But yeah, I don't think the Bruno Velasquez had permission to tweet this.
Probably not.
Yeah, so Sony,
Hey,
PlayStation
you know what?
PR.
We appreciate Bruno celebrating the holidays and giving us the news that we wanted.
Yep. Yep. I mean, it was 420. Maybe he was being festive.
Celebrating.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, the good news is that and the thing is, the last that we heard officially from PlayStation was 2022. So he's not and so as of April 20th, the team still really believes that it's coming 2022. I don't know what kind of repercussions he could face, but
I think if anything, it'll be like, hey, Bruno, no
delete
more.
your fucking Twitter, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I'm really excited for this game. I was checking my phone a lot on 420 for potential news. There was a lot of rumblings that they were gonna announce something, show a trailer, whatever, have some kind of announcement. And
The trailer rumor is what I kept seeing.
yeah, so I kept checking Twitter throughout the day and stuff, but Is what it is. All right, John. Last up, we have a an interesting topic to touch on. This is something that was kind of reported a couple of weeks ago with Xbox, then Sony recently. There's reports that Sony is also doing this, but so PlayStation and Xbox are reportedly exploring ways to use in-game advertisements to monetize and support free-to-play titles. So that's according from Business Insider, which recently reported on similar plans said to be at the works of Xbox. It's now reporting that Sony and PlayStation are also testing ways to fit advertisements for real products into game worlds through fixtures such as billboards. Sony's plans are also said to include rewards for players who watch advertisements, which more closely mirrors the way many free-to-play games and apps that are currently monetized on mobile platforms. Watching ads or completing surveys will often award an in-game currency or unlock additional content. For eligible games under its program, Sony is reportedly looking at cosmetics unlocked through ad time. So, just give me your overall thoughts on not necessarily like Xbox or PlayStation. Just how do you feel about advertisements in video games in general?
I think that you and anybody that's listening to all these episodes will be able to tell that I do not like this. I think this is fucking horse shit. I we talked about this before when it was like Xbox buying Activision Blizzard and like in Call of Duty they're gonna put Game Pass ads in, and it's like I even something like that I didn't like, but having like you're gonna be playing like what Call of Duty and on a blown up billboard it's gonna say hey buy a Pepsi like what, and if you click an ad in between rounds you get a Pepsi skin like what is happening? That sounds like my nightmare.
Yeah,
It sounds awful. I genuinely do not like this. I hate this.
I think for me, I mostly lean your side of things. Like, so there are times where like if I'm watching a movie or a TV show and you know someone slams down like a Mountain Dew or something, or like the camera will even pan over it where it's like obvious product
Yeah.
placement, I'll like kind of chuckle. If it's subtle like that and it's not like being slammed down my throat, it's it's one thing. It's That's one thing. Or if you're in Call of Duty or something, if yeah you fly, if there's a billboard for Monster Energy drink, whatever, that's that's one thing. But if it's in between rounds you have a fucking ad pop up on your entire screen, and then there's a timer, it's like 5 4 3, and you can't click out of it until that timer's done, that's gonna piss me off, to the point where I there's been times where if it's actually the main reason I don't play mobile games. A lot of
Yeah.
times, once I have that screen pop up one too many times, I just delete the app and I'm like, I'm done with this. I don't even want to play it anymore.
Yeah.
But yeah, like this type of thing happens in, you have like for Hulu, for example, they have a one subscription where it's with ads, and then Hulu without ads where you pay more. Like I understand the free to play games that are being developed still cost the same usually as full price games or very similarly. So when this first was announced and it was just Xbox talking about it, the first thing I thought was Game Pass. Game Pass is they're obviously still they're not gaining money from Game Pass. They're not profiting from Game Pass rather.
Yeah.
Do they need to do this for Game Pass to work? What is free to play title? Does Game Pass do Game Pass games are those included in free to play titles? You know, like
Oh, that would be miserable if every single game had an ad.
yeah, and so Xbox and PlayStation have said that they would be in control of what advertisements are shown in their games and stuff like that. but still, the thought of Starfield, you're in space and there, I don't know, that there's like, I don't know, like Mountain Dew, or I don't know why I keep thinking Mountain Dew,
Yeah,
just because it's gamer. Mountain Dew and Monster. There's Doritos advertisements somewhere. Like, I don't know.
it's just an alien in the back of Starfield eating a bag of
Just eating
Doritos.
Doritos, yeah. If it's gonna break my immersion, then it's gonna that'll really would irritate me. Um,
I can't, like, I'm picturing it like YouTube, where like
mm-hmm.
you get a video cut off by like a 15-second unskippable ad,
Yeah,
like right in the middle of something like that. That sucks. And
yeah. I
like,
don't.
yeah, they cost the same to make, and like they don't make as much up front. But a lot of these free to play games make their money long term because there's usually
Right.
uh like in-game purchases.
Yeah. So if in between, where do you draw the line? I guess, like, what is acceptable to you, and then at what point are you?
Like you said, if it doesn't break immersion. So like if you're playing Warzone and as you're flying in, you see a billboard for uh I don't know, Crush Orange Soda. Like that's one thing. But if you're just getting out of a game or you're trying to start one up and you have to sit through an ad, that's unacceptable. You
Yeah,
can't have that.
I agree.
I
Uh,
don't think the profits are worth that.
yeah. So like, I'm picturing the Halo multiplayer screen. You have your Spartans, and then there's usually a little square down that'll, like, it'll say like news. It'll give you like the Halo waypoint stuff.
Yeah.
If in between games a little banner came up or something across, or in that little square,
In the little square is good.
Cheetos. I mean, even like if I don't know, like it would have to look decent too, because I don't know, if an orange banner came up across the bottom of the screen, it scrolled like, buy a bag
I
of Cheetos, get this
well
however many Halo money, whatever currency, something like that.
the way I could see it is sort of like uh didn't some brand just have a Halo deal? Like Frito Lay's or something had like Master Chief on the bags. I could see something like that being in like the bottom corner, like Master Chief holding a bag of Cheetos with his face on it.
Yeah,
Like that, if it's in that little box to the corner and you can ignore it, fine. If
yeah.
that's how you have to profit, whatever.
If
But
something
like
comes up and fills our entire screen,
if it's like a pop up, like a PC pop up, then I'm mad.
yeah, 100%. So the PlayStation One seems, so there's like watching ads and completing surveys, which kind of seems like it might be like a tab or something in the PlayStation Store. I still don't love it, just because I don't know. Whenever you feel like you're still, I don't know, I feel like I'm getting played in a way, like I'm still
Yeah.
like, I don't know why I feel like that, but like there are plenty of apps and things now that will give you, like, if you like watch ads, or if you take this survey, you get points towards some kind of reward. I don't ever choose to do those things. So as
No.
long as, like you said, a lot of this is like skippable. You don't you can ignore it. That's fine. But I just I know a lot of companies, and at the end of the day, as consumer friendly as we say Xbox is, and stuff, at the end of the day, they're gonna take they're gonna try to get away with as much as they can, I would say.
Yeah.
Like, they're gonna push it, and I'm just hoping that they don't push it too far, because I can definitely see a world where we're booting up we just keep going to Halo and Warzone. We
Well,
boot up what?
those seem like the most obvious choices, right?
Yeah, and because what free to play PlayStation games are out right now? Like we have those live service like games that were announced, but no like actual titles or anything. But they
Yeah.
are coming. So Destiny,
Destiny's the only one I can think of.
that would be a hard. Destiny would be a really hard game to find an appropriate place. There, I mean, there's no
Well,
billboards in Destiny and stuff like that. You know what I'm
also
saying?
think of like yeah, but like at the home base or whatever, you could just have a giant LED thing show
In
up. But
the
like,
in the clouds.
yeah, I'm thinking like yeah, where where you see like the base off in the distance. I haven't played in a while, so maybe it's changed. But that blown up base off in the distance, there's just a light projecting off that. It's like buy
There's
Coke.
fireworks that come up in the sky and
Yeah.
just yeah,
See, I
Sprite.
think in something like Tiny Tina's it would work because that sort of absurdity shit like works. But if you put an ad in like Halo right now, say they did this next week, if you did it alongside the season 2 launch, you know how many people that would turn away. Where
Oh
like you're
yeah,
barely adding content and now you're also adding ads. That would turn the remaining people away. Like you
yeah.
have to be
So
smart about this shit because you could upset a lot of people.
yeah. So another thing that I was thinking of, and this was really more pertaining to Xbox with Game Pass. What if there was a Game Pass model? It's a Game Pass with ads, I guess, where
Oh,
like you have the ten
cheaper
dollars
Game Pass.
that yeah, like it's $7.99 a month. But every time you boot up a game, there's an ad, or
I don't like it.
I mean, you wouldn't subscribe to it, but I'm saying, what do you think of that? Like, do you think that's even something that they would consider?
I think that corporations are greedy and consider anything to make an extra buck, which is why I don't like any of this sort of hearsay because I I will shit on this as much as possible because I don't want
That's fair.
if the public perception even gives an ounce of positivity towards this, it's happening
Yeah. Well,
because if they think they can get away with making more money, they're gonna make more money.
the thing is with that, I don't know if I necessarily think that's a bad like that specifically like a Game Pass with ads type of thing, where I don't know you every time you boot up a game, or I don't know how you would break it up in a game,
There's
but
no way to like break up a because you don't know what games people are playing, and you'd have to try to
well,
program an
yeah,
ad halfway
you
through
would
and stuff like that. You can't do it.
yeah,
It would have to be like at the start of a game or something, or while you're like as soon as you click to download a game, an ad comes up too, or something like that.
yeah, right, like, or even when you just turn and you can't do it when you turn your Xbox on because
Oh, if I turn my fucking Xbox on and I got an ad to buy Mountain Dew Surge or whatever it is, I would throw my
well
Xbox in my backyard
the
as
thing
hard as I
was the thing was PlayStation, and I haven't looked, but there's like an explore or like a what's new tab or something like that, and it was like the first thing that would come up on PS5 when like the day that it launched, and it was a lot of advertisements, but it was like, I mean, it was a lot of games, but there was things that were like, why are you trying to sell me shit? I just paid $500 for a console. Like
They
it,
did when they released the new controllers too. They had a thing that was like, these are available. You can buy them at PlayStation or Sony.com or whatever.
yeah,
And I didn't like that.
yeah. It's yeah, definitely. So I think that I would say we don't trust any corporation to do this tastefully, I guess. It's a very slippery slope.
You could have cut that sentence that we don't trust any corporation.
Yeah,
at first.
I mean the ads are a slippery
Yeah,
slope,
no,
and
no, no. But that's, I mean, this is bad. There's no way they're gonna do it tasteful. They're gonna do it terribly, and then roll out like an update where it's like, well, we're gonna tone it back, and then do it poorly again, but less in your face.
yeah, yeah. I I mean we don't play racing games, but
That's the ideal spot.
the example that they were saying were like on billboards when when you're driving by things like that
You know
is
what?
cool. That's cool with me. That's
If you put it in Gran Turismo 7, if you put it in Forza, I'm okay with that because I'll never see it.
yeah, right.
Make your money in those games where, where we're not gonna play it. All I care about is us.
Yeah,
That's it.
that's yeah, yeah. At the end of the day, the boys. That's all that matters.
Yeah.
All right, that's it for the news, and that's it for the show this week. Yeah, come back to YouTube tomorrow if you're watching this on podcasts. Go check out the YouTube tomorrow. We'll have a video of our new series called Metacritique, where we're playing the worst games rated on Metacritic, and we are critiquing the Metacritic score. So come to the like I said to the YouTube and check that out.
But
And
also
then
we also have two other shows that we released the past 2 weeks in a
right,
row. That's 4 weeks, four new shows. The other three were, oh no, one is not really, it's a tier list. We did a tier list for PlayStation Studios. We did Xbox Game Pass or Fail, where we hit the Game Pass randomizer, whatever game it gives us, we play, and then we say, does that game pass or does it fail? And we also have PS Tuesdays, where we play just the best games from PS2 and see if they're still good or if they stink now.
yeah. So those are up on the YouTube. Go check it out. Share with a friend. Like and sub and leave a review on whatever podcast service you use. It'd be greatly appreciated. And until next time, stay horny, stay hydrated. Peace.